Come on now. Y'all already know what this is. First things first, God at this. Don't get mad with us. I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight, and we got the one man and the only man that can check you into the Heartbreak Hotel, and that's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Look, I know y'all probably enjoyed our end of the year awards, which was a banger. But we got to talk about what happened with this week going on. Because look, I'm not gonna lie, we had some special moments that really happened this week, man, and I am 100% proud of it. I'm glad to finally see something really happening. But honestly, let's go ahead and let's start this off with the 2 hours and the 30 minutes of fire on Monday Night Raw, baby. Man, Monday Night Raw. Now I'm not gonna lie, man. This was actually a pretty decent episode. I'm not gonna lie, man. This was all right. Now, kind of going into the main start of the show, let's go ahead and really talk about it because honestly, the way they started this off, man, was insane. They kicked this off with the vision. Okay. You see what happens right here. Look at it. Look at this. Paul Heyman. Okay. You're seeing Braun Breaker. You're seeing Austin Theory. You're seeing Bronson Tsunami Reed. Honestly, this was actually very interesting. With Paul Heyman really hyping up everybody in the vision, saying this is the future. And then it gets to the point, even when Austin Theory starts to even talk and say that this is his moment. This is the time he's been waiting for. I said, all right, Austin, I see what you're trying to do here. But then who comes out? That man, CM Punk. Man, this was interesting right here. CM Punk comes out. Okay. And at this point, you know what's going on. This is finally the showdown that we've really been waiting for between CM Punk and Braun Breaker. This was good. Okay. What I loved about this, Braun Breaker saying that he's literally, this is his time. That January 5th, that January 5th is going to be his moment. It's going to be his time to be taking that title from CM Punk. And I said, man, look, you know what? You might be 100% right about this, man, because I said something about this. But CM Punk tells him, look, it doesn't matter what you say, what you're doing. This is going to be my title, and it's not going to be leaving my hands until I say I'm done with it. I said, man, come on, man. Talk about that power in the back. I knew what you was talking about, Punk. I knew what you meant by that. I knew off rip. But it led to the face off and CM Punk telling Braun Breaker just as that when he's ready, he'll decide to drop that title. Then we flash forward to Raquel. Okay, Raquel talking to Jackie. Okay, they was talking at first. All right, she was asking her, how do you feel about this situation going into this triple threat match against Nikki Bella? Raquel feeling confident. Liv popped up, says, hey, look, Roxanne want to give a few, pointers. Raquel says, what does Roxanne got to say? I said, man, come on, let's not do this. Let's not do this right now. We already got friction going on. Man, come on. So now I'm thinking Raquel's probably going to be leaving the Judgment Day soon. But honestly, they wished her good luck. Raquel says, I don't need good luck. I don't need luck. And walked off. And honestly, it led to the triple threat match with Stephanie Valkyrie. Okay, beating Nikki Bella and Raquel. And honestly, the way how the match ended, Raquel holding Nikki and Stephanie, okay, in the air for her double finisher to the point where Stephanie actually got out, but Raquel dropping her finisher on Nikki Bella, Stephanie literally tossing Raquel out of the ring. And at that point, Stephanie Loki stealing the pin and stealing the win to get the dub to retain the title. I thought this was interesting. Then we flash forward to come on, man. Come on. This was interesting. All right. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Okay, first of all, they came out, and you know why they came out. To the Kabuki Warriors. Okay? They came out to the Kabuki Warriors because, and let me just say this, man, and I've said this before. Okay. We don't need to keep having the Kabuki Warriors just yelling Baga. Okay. I said that the last time they did the press conference, and all of a sudden, y'all must have listened and said, you know what? Let's do it again. And they did. Okay. But it led to Rhea and Io Sky coming out, evening the odds, and beating the hell out of them. And honestly, I love how this looked. But it's to the point now where it's looking like maybe they're kind of pushing towards Rhea and Io, maybe, the next tag team champs. So we'll see what happens with that. Then we flash forward. Man, this one really just. I think I'm gonna have to call on my girl. I think I'm gonna have to call on her. Yep, it's time. I'm gonna definitely have to call on her. Florida. Damn, damn, damn. I don't even know why we did this right here. Okay, like for real. What did we do this for? Why did we even have this match? We knew what was gonna happen with R-Truth and Gunther. This was damn near disrespectful. Now, don't get me wrong. It showed some signs of Ron Killings. I like the fact, he turned his hat back. Even last week when he talked to Gunther. I said, you're switching up. I see it. But then they still calling you R-Truth. You got to tell them if you about to be a different person. Because if you're gonna be switching over to Ron Killings, they need to announce you as that. Not still as R-Truth. I need to see my man Ron Killings. I got it. I gotta see it. But yeah, man, I thought this was crazy. I mean, seeing Gunther, okay, making R-Truth tap out. This is ridiculous. Anyway, then we flash forward. Man, man, man. We had Austin Theory going up against Rey Mysterio. And honestly, it got to the point Logan Paul gets involved. And honestly, the funny thing is, when he gets involved, he literally flips this man, Rey Mysterio. I mean, to the point they just had to, pretty much make it as a no contest, and they start to beat the hell out of Rey Mysterio. But who comes out? That man, Penta. And if you don't love Penta, why don't you? Okay, Penta comes out, helps Rey Mysterio, evens the odds, beats the hell out of Austin Theory, beats the hell out of Logan Paul. And honestly, this man was looking strong at this point, man. So we'll see what happens with that. Then we flash forward to Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch, the man. Now, look, this was actually a really good promo. Maxine Dupree came out, talking her stuff. I love how she came out and talked. Sound confident, sound good. But then to the point to where Becky Lynch comes out and says she wants to give credit. Couldn't even finish it. I said, I love this for Becky. Didn't want to give her credit, didn't want to give her props, didn't even want to give her respect. I thought this was hilarious. But to the point to where actually, Becky gets a little flustered. She gets a little upset. She gets a little pissed off, tells Maxine, look, I'm going to be taking that title back. And that's for sure. I say, yeah, you're right, Becky. We'll see what happens with that. Then we flash forward. Man, to this main event here. Look, man, look, y'all already know how it happened with this. The Usos beating AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for the World Tag Team titles. Honestly, I mean, I'm not shocked about this. I mean, I can see why we did this, man. This is going to definitely turn up the the men's tag team division. So we'll definitely see what happens with that. But this is the finish right here. Oh, look at that. We got my man, Mr. Exclusive, the legacy maker himself. Look at that on the road, man.
That look, your boys on the road. I was like, they talking good stuff. I gotta sneak in for a little bit. Gotta sneak in for a little bit.
Hey,
We
glad to see
appreciate
you
it, Mr.
pop in,
Exclusive. Good to
man.
see you pop in. How's it
Yeah,
feel?
yeah.
You
How's
going?
it going, fellas? Y'all doing
How's it feel to
good?
be doing your last game of the season?
Woo! Ready, baby. You know what that means? More nighttime. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm excited. I'm excited, but I'm feeling may happen, and I got a 3 hour journey before I get to my brother's house, so I got a little time. I got a little time.
Okay. Very,
Okay.
very nice. Very nice. Be safe on those roads.
Yeah,
And
man.
hello, Nicole.
Well,
I see that you giving some Uso some love. You happy they won?
Yeah.
And of course, BJ popped in. What's good, BJ?
What is going on with everybody, man? But yeah, man, that was the finish there. Honestly, just to talk about Raw, I think so far, literally, I the best part out of Raw, I feel like, in my opinion, that we got might have been, really seeing the whole CM Punk and Braun Breaker situation. I think that was probably the best thing that we got from that. I think honestly, when we look at everything as a whole with that, I think they told the story. And I'm excited to see what happens next week, honestly. Really am. Really am. But again, also another thing. This whole friction thing with Raquel, Liv, and Roxanne. This has got to stop. I can't do this with them. I really can't. This is hurting my soul seeing this. I had so much high hopes for this. I really did. On God, I did. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, and then also, like I talked about before, Gunther and R-Truth. What the hell was that? Come on. We ain't have to do that to my man Ron, man. That was crazy. But it is what it is. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah. I like the way that Raw opened this week. With Braun Breaker, CM Punk. I thought the back and forth promo between the two was actually pretty good. I know Braun is kind of fighting to start his I ain't gonna say legacy, but because dude is a really good wrestler, really good athlete and talent, but um, you could tell that he's fighting an uphill battle because you're talking about Braun Breaker and CM Punk, and I don't know if any of us can see Braun Breaker actually beating CM Punk for this title. Now, if it were to happen, it'll be a great shock. It'll be a good surprise. It'll be a good way to change some things up. With WWE programming and maybe some additional storylines that can come out of it. But um, I feel like Braun showed this week that he can go toe to toe, or at least be face to face in a ring with somebody like CM Punk on a mic, and actually hold his own. Because the last couple of weeks they have been doing promos, outside of each other, and so this week to be able to see them face to face. But again, I still think Punk showed you why he is one of the best, on the mic in the business, with the way he kind of ended out his promo, especially talking about nobody's getting that title until he's ready for somebody else to take it. And so that just tells you he's probably gonna have a pretty decent reign, maybe going into WrestleMania. So I don't know how this is going to shape out unless Braun goes in and wins the Rumble. But there's just so many like things about the Rumble when you're talking about the winner. Like we're hoping that eventually LA Knight is going to get a push at some point. If Braun, you talk about Braun Breaker being in the Rumble. If he wins, Roman Reigns comes back and he's in the Rumble to see who faces CM Punk or Cody. You got Drew McIntyre. Like I don't really know like this year who is the best pick for the Rumble. As far as the talents that they have, and then you start to throw in to the mix some of the new signees that we'll probably get to later on. I mean, it's a good thing to kind of have things like this up in the air. But I also feel like for Braun, if he doesn't win this match here, I don't know when the next time he's going to be able to face CM Punk for the title. So I don't know what this is going to mean for the vision and his opportunity in the future. I also want to just double down on. I really, really want them to do a good story with Austin Theory. I want him to be this double agent that is, just really getting ingrained into the vision to destroy it from the inside out. And I want it to be have something to do with him and Seth Rollins or him being aligned with Seth Rollins. I think it could be a great story if they would go that route. But when I look at this picture, really quick, as a whole, and I'm just gonna just look at Paul Heyman in the ring with these guys here. Now,
Yep.
to me, it says, man, how far has he fallen? Because you think about this man was on a high with the tribal chief, and what they did on that 3-year run was just magical. And now, we in the ring with Larry, Moe, Curly, and Justin Timberlake. And so I really just don't. I don't know exactly where they can go, because I don't know if Paul Heyman alone is going to really be enough to lift the vision as a whole and take them, to that next step. Because they don't. The problem with me is they don't have a heavy hitter in there. They don't have anybody right now that's legit, that has done it. You know what I mean? That has carried the brand or has been, a world champion on that stage. And so now it's like we just got a bunch of guys that are on the come up. And with the talent that's coming in, I just found their auras to be far above what I'm seeing in the ring right now. Nothing against, Logan Paul, because we know that the guys is a talent in the ring. We know Bronson Tsunami Reed, a talent in the ring. Braun Breaker, same thing for all of them. It's just, I feel like they would be better served on their own, making their own climb, than to be together like this, because it's like, what are we doing? We have Paul Heyman, but what are we really doing? Like, where are we really going with this vision? And that's where I feel like the vision has failed, is that it just did not live up to what it could have been or should have been. And then my next thing, because I know I've taken up enough time, is to talk about this right here, because this is the most interesting thing that took place to me on Monday Night Raw. And nothing against the Usos' victory, but that was to be expected. I could tell by the locker room, backstage segment that they did. They were going to be going over that night. The whole talk between Big Jim and his brother, I could just tell it was time, to change up. But this right here was impressive to me, because I loved how Becky did her promo with the struggling to say the word credit when it came to talking to Maxine Dupree, and I love the most was, and what I loved the most was how Maxine Dupree fired back on the mic. And this opened my eyes to what Maxine Dupree can be if she just continues to have these opportunities to grow and perform in front of people, and just get a little bit more or a little less, I'll just say a little less choreographed or and more crisp with her movement in the ring. This lady right here has a wonderful talent, because the way she talked on the mic, especially being in the ring and in that type of pressure in front of a Becky Lynch, who we know is goatified. I was very impressed with Maxine Dupree in this segment here. And I think that the chemistry that these two ladies have together, I hope they can make a nice long rivalry that leads maybe into Mania between these two, because I love seeing two good people that have chemistry together have these deep feuds. Like what they're doing right now with Drew and Cody right now, I think is magical. If and only if they were actually leading to something big, like a good time. What Drew is doing is stuff that I just love to see, where you start to hammer home on like personal effects, personal items that you start to cross into reality. And so I feel like if they could do something like this with Becky and Maxine, this would be great, because I really do like seeing them two, because it's like the fresh face and the old head, and they're battling over the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And that's more interesting to me, what's going on with that belt, than it is the Women's Championship. So I love stuff like that, and I think they're killing it. And then just shout out to the Usos. I'm glad to see, that they are champions again. And maybe, just maybe, this could be the bloodline returning. Holding up the ones.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Mr. Xclusive, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Well, look, I'm gonna put it like this, fellas. Solid Raw. I felt pretty good about it overall. Piggyback off of what Heartbreak Prince said. division doesn't feel like it has a vision. It's just they're just a couple random guys they threw together and hope for the best. It almost feels like remember when Paul Heyman had McGillicuddy, and it's like, okay, he's Mr. Perfect son, and this is gonna be great for him, but it never really materialized anything. And it's rare. It is so rare that Paul Heyman misses on Paul Heyman guys and gals, by the way. And it doesn't feel like there's nothing like strong with what they've got going on. It feels really boring. And I feel like we're going to get forced a Braun Breaker title run before it's time for it to happen. The only way I think that they can have him not win the title next week is if Seth Rollins returns. Seth Rollins would have to return and just start disrupting the vision in order for CM Punk to hold this belt to me till Mania and not try to bury Braun Breaker. I think that's the only way they can do it if they really want to truly take that next step. You know what I'm saying with him, or they don't want to give him the title yet. They're going to have to find a way to cause chaos next Monday. I think it is next Monday, right when they have the match. So when they have that, that's something I feel like that's got to happen. Other than that, y'all, it has a really weird feel to it with the vision. The other part for me, minus the vision. Shout out to Maxine Dupree. I thought her mic work, even though choreographed, felt like she's on the verge of doing great things. And I think you guys said it the other day when we was on Exclusive Minds, but she just feels like she's close to being really good. If they can continue to develop her the way they're developing her, I really think she could take a big step. So I'm excited about. I can't believe I'm excited about Maxine Dupree as an Intercontinental Champion. So I wanna see what that leads to. I think that's going to be important. Shout out to the Usos. We knew that this was happening. There's some word out there that the Hardy Boys are trying to push for a WrestleMania match between them, the Usos, and the New Day. Sign me up. Sign me up right now. And yes, I know the Hardy Boys are 58 years old. I get it. It doesn't matter. And we're talking about three of the greatest tag teams of all time going at it for the titles at Mania. I don't know if they can make that happen, especially with the TNA partnership. And they just signed back with TNA. I know that's about to end here soon, but that's something I would think would be magical if they can make that happen. Last thing, piggybacking off my man Eric Knight. I don't know why they did this whole thing with our truth disaster. Um, but I know the main reason they did it because they want to make sure, hey, they know that our truth is John Cena's guy. They just know that our truth and Cena are like this. And what better way to make Gunther just more hated than just beating up on the beloved R Truth? It felt unnecessary, but I get the vision. No pun intended.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. I definitely feel you on that one. I think 100%. I agree with you on the whole thing, man. Yeah, I think yeah they need to do something with this. If they don't do something, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna talk about some other things that's about to go crazy because it seems like you know I thought about this morning when I woke up. I said, the way how they're introducing some of the NXT stars and how they're kind of calling them up right now reminds me of how it was exactly 10 years
Years
ago
ago.
in 2016 when they started doing the draft. They started bringing more people up. You started to see more fresh faces. And it feels like it might be. I don't know what the heck is going on. It seems like they're repeating their own cycle in in 10 years. But this might be the year we might start seeing a lot more things change and really come up to be a lot better. So again, it's how they push them and how they move them, but how they already trying to shape up WrestleMania with complete nostalgia. This is where they might mess up, but we'll see. We will see. But we talked about some of the great things that happened when Monday Night Raw. Now Oh man, now it is time to talk about my man Sean hooking it up with NXT. Man, man. NXT, man. What can I say? It was the year end episode. So, we seen some great awards getting handed out to some great wrestlers. But honestly, man, this was a great show, man. And we're gonna talk about this because this again was insane. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this, man. Look, they kicked this show off immediately. Okay, immediately with Ethan Page. Okay, going up against Moose. And honestly, that was for that North American champion. This was something I was kind of hoping to see the other way around, just to see my man Moose kind of take that NXT title to TNA. Would have been something a little bit different, but I still love this match overall. Great match. Loved how the finish was. Then we flash forward. All right, I ain't even gonna lie. This one was a little tough for me to watch. And I say this because I felt like Izzy Dane was seeming a little flat for a second, but she picked it up, and I thought she really captivated the crowd at that point. Uh, but then to the point to where I thought this was great, she came out. Okay, my girl Tatum Paxley. Now, look, Izzy already was kind of talking about what she did and why she did, the thing she did to Tatum Paxley. Okay, why she betrayed her, that she took it as a joke. And, just a lot of things that I say, all right, Izzy, I don't think you ain't got to take it this far. But I understood what she meant by it. But, but Tatum talking about she felt the betrayal that, you know, she also said, which I thought was really good. She said to Izzy Dane, "It is not over till I say it's over." Man, I mean, come on, look at that face. Look at that face, man. Man, come on. Tatum looked like a crazy woman here. I love this though. This was good. They're telling the story here, and of course, Izzy Dane trying to sneak up on Tatum Paxley after that, and Tatum hitting her finish on Izzy. Loved it. Then we flash forward. Look at that, man. That just looked great. Then we flash forward. Oh man, this come on. This was just disrespectful right here. We had JC Jane beating Ren Sinclair. Now, honestly, this was another great match. I thought Ren Sinclair really showed off a lot of what she can do in that ring. But again, I mean, come on, this is JC Jane. You've seen who she had outside the ring. She had Laney Reed. She had my girl Fallon Haley. I mean, when you got those two already, you're good. You're set. But that was how the finish was for that. Then we flash forward to my man Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry,
TJ,
and Joe Hendry.
Hey,
let's
Man,
Booker
go
was
in there.
Booker's remix was hype.
man, this was good, man. Man, I loved how Joe Hendry did this, man. He literally told a year, literally the end of the year song, talked about Javon, talked about a lot of great things that happened. But in the midst of that, who comes out? Freaking Dark State, man. They came out. I mean, they just started to beat the hell out of Joe Hendry. I said, man, you can't even give this man a chance. Just, I mean, just mauling and just beating the hell out of him. And honestly, just leaving him to his own guitar. Man, that was kind of sad. Then we flash forward. Man, come on. You see who it was, man? My man Javon Evans getting that male superstar of the year. Well deserved. Gotta shout it out to you. Big Rob. Hey, OG, I know you're proud of him, man. He's doing great things. Then we flash forward. Sol Ruka and Zarya. I mean, getting tag team of the year. I thought this was damn near comical. I said, yeah, y'all being funny with this one. Look, I thought this was funny though. Zarya saying this is the sound of victory. Yeah, but we ain't seen no titles yet. So where the victory at? Where the titles at? Where are we getting anything out of this? Whatever. You know what? It is what it is. Let's go to the next award. Okay, look, we had Sol Ruka winning female superstar of the year. I thought this was interesting. Now, honestly, that being said, I hope this adds more jealousy to the story with her and Zarya. Let's do something with this. Okay, please. For the love of God. Let me flash forward. Man, look, OTM beating Swipe Right. I thought this was good, man. I like how these boys came out and looked, man. The crowd was feeling them, the crowd was behind them. I like how these guys are looking strong. I need to see these men in some more tag team title opportunities. Man, look, these guys can go, man. These guys really got the promo work down. I think they're ready. Let's see where they go with it, man. Then we flash forward. Oh goodness gracious. Look, this was interesting here, okay? Uh, man, look, Javon Evans hitting a super cutter on the ref. Okay, this was the main event right here. This was crazy. Okay. I mean, Ricky literally pulling the ref in the way. I said, man, come on, Ricky, you're ridiculous with this. But then to the point when the ref is down, Ricky literally hitting a low blow on Javon. Ricky hitting his finisher on Javon, getting the 1, 2, 3. And this is the finish right here. Ah, man, look, I ain't gonna lie. Everything that's happened so far, I think specifically with NXT, I think it was great. My main thing, again, I've said this again, Soul and Zaria. What are we doing with them? What is this buffoonery? I can't keep taking this. Look, when you got people in the comments saying, what are we doing? I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Again, Zarya, I love you. Soul, I love you. But we either got to make this tag team, give them a title, or break them up and let them do their own thing. I think Zarya can do her own thing. I think she can hold her own. And I think Soul's definitely shown that already. What you are playing in our faces with this one, Sean. I swear you're playing. This is the carrot you keep dangling like crazy. Pause. I mean, I can't with this. I can't. But yeah, that was one thing I definitely had to talk about. Um, this whole thing with Tatum Paxley, love what she did as well. I thought the promo that she cut, come on, man. I think she's showing that sick, sadistic, crazy kind of stalker. I love it, man. I think she's knocking this out of the park, and we need to see more on her. And again, my man Javon. Okay, getting that male superstar of the year for NXT, I thought that was great. But then again, Ricky, pretty Ricky Saints, man, you were something else, man. You something else, boy. I thought to myself, man, look, you out here doing the real heel work, man, and it's actually working. I like this side of Ricky Saints. Look, we've seen some of this when he was Ricky Starks, absolute Ricky Starks when he's with Team Taz. So seeing this side of Ricky, I think this really shows the versatility coming out of this man. So Ricky, keep doing your thing. And again, Javon, look, we know you about to be on our main roster. So you ain't got nothing to worry about. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, another solid NXT, of course. Not too many gripes. I was surprised to see, Ricky Saints, pretty Ricky, what they call him, actually get the W here over over Javon Evans, just because, I figured this might be Javon's like last match in NXT, maybe.
Hmm.
And so I thought he probably would go ahead and win the little feud that they had between each other. So to see them go with Ricky Saints is understandable. It's respectable because Ricky Saints right now, as far as we know, is still in NXT. And so his story and his dominance in the brand still has to go forward. So I guess you got to continue to build on that story there. But great match, overall. Of course, when you talk about Javon Evans being involved, I haven't seen a bad match yet. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing coming out of this is the fact that we know that Javon, we know Oba and Trick are soon to come to to the main rosters, and we're gonna get to see what unfolds around them. Going forward here in 2026, which is exciting. Love the fact that my girl Soruka won Superstar of the Year. Keep up the great work. The Soul Snatcher. Now she's Soul Snatch Superstar of the Year. Let's go. But the one thing I just want to hit on real quick, and then just to wrap this up, outside of Booker T's remix of Joe Hendry's song, which was legendary, my man Joe Hendry,
Joe
Joe
Hendry,
Hendry,
Joe
Booker T
Hendry.
wilding out, man.
Joe.
But no, my man, I they're dropping little nuggets, and I cannot figure it out. I cannot put it together.
Yeah,
If
you
you
beat
look up
that.
there at the top
Yep.
right, in the I Believe in Joe Hendry, you see Tony D standing there, just in this solemn pose. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what it means, but I love how teasing this is as far as his character goes and what is to
Yes.
come. Because it's to me, they're dropping crumbs. Like it's like all of these main players. He's appearing in the shadows of all of these main players. And if you're not looking at the right space or right place at the time, during the show, you will miss him. Because I had to rewind it to catch him because somebody mentioned Tony D. I think one of the commentators mentioned Tony D was in the rafters. And I was like, I didn't see it. So when I rewinded, I said, oh my goodness. It's just, to me, it's what is happening? Like, what is this character? Who is he after? Because why Joe Hendry? Like, what has Joe Hendry done? So I'm kind of loving the mysterious aspect of this because of the fact that we haven't seen Tony D in a while. He made one appearance at the show where he
That
dropped a little
deadline,
deadline where he dropped the little pedals or whatever they were on. Yeah. And so I don't know. That's just my thing because I'm a huge Tony D fan as well. And so the family. I'm just happy to see him, and I'm kind of liking the kind of mystery aspect of what they're doing with him in NXT. I just wish I could put it all together because so far we've seen him with the Ruler, Javon Evans. He was peeping in the Raptors on that. He was peeping in the Raptors on Joe Hendry. And then I wonder if there's any affiliation with Dark State because right after they showed him, Dark State came out. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what's gonna come from this. But yeah, NXT overall, good show.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. I thought about that when you said about Darkseid because remember they were remember when Darkseid was kind of becoming a thing. They were the ones kind of revealing who they were. So
Who they were.
That was cooked. That would cook. Mr. Xclusive, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Well, it's another solid NXT. So I agree with you on some things. Biggest things are that I don't know what's happening anymore. No one knows what's happening anymore. I don't know if anybody cares about this anymore. It's getting to a point where if you don't do the turn, it feels like everything has been for naught. And we talked about it a couple shows ago. It's like her reign or her time in NXT feels light. All the other people that came in that they made a big fuss about have done really good things. Mine is her. And it's weird to me, the only one that hasn't had that, that push yet. And I know there's a lot of great talent that they brought in that they're trying to push or whatnot, but it just still feels so. I agree. Do it now. What are we waiting for? Like, make it happen now. Make it happen now. Tony D. I like what I'm seeing in the Tony D front. He's becoming NXT's Sting. Just sitting in the rafters, kind of doing his thing, kind of like a mysterious NXT Sting. I mean, I don't know if that's the route they're going. He's got like a little black coat on and everything. So hey, look, he's NXT Sting for me right now, and he's not talking, which is also interesting. So I'm
Yep.
intrigued to see if that's the kind of the way they're going about it. And HP Prince, the Dark State situation, I like that. I like the vision on that. That could be something that would be a very interesting thing. Ricky Saints, I thought that they did exactly what they needed to do. Seeing Javon lose, hate to see him lose, but Javon's got bigger and better things to attend to on the main roster. So I wasn't too bad about that, but it does continue to build Ricky Saints' character, and that's exactly what they need. Because with this shift, who's going to be the next wave of great NXT stars? That's going to be important here. What is the next wave of NXT stars? And the people that lead the brand on, you're about to lose your three or four biggest people. I mean, losing Oba, losing Trick, losing Javon. Those are your three top stars right off the bat. You're losing them. You're going to lose Sol Ruka here soon. You're going to lose her. So once you lose
Jordan
those
Grace.
people,
Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grayson looks like she's about to be on the way out. You got to figure out who's that next wave. And somehow, our girl, Jada Parker, is still not being talked about. Haven't seen her in weeks. I don't know if she's injured, whatever it is. It's just the next wave is about to happen. And they got to figure that out. And my last thing, Tatum Paxley. I'm starting to think, I thought this about this a couple weeks ago. I'm starting to think the same thing that happened with Thea Hale may have happened with Tatum Paxley. She lost that title so quick. And I was thinking to myself, after the Thea thing, I said, was there another mistake made? Because they were like, hey, no, from now on, people have to stay and wait for, everybody can't leave until the show is over just in case we got to re-record or do something else. And I'm starting to think that maybe even Tatum Paxley's reign may have been the same thing where she won by accident. That's what it's starting to feel to me because it happened. The switch happened so quick, and it just didn't make sense to me. And I was very excited about her reign. I thought that her style would work perfectly, and unfortunately, I guess they wanted to give it back to JCJ. I guess she still doesn't excite me, so I don't know. But overall, NXT does what NXT does. The chef continues to cook, but if there's one lapse in the chef's judgment, it's Zari. Fix it, my guy. Fix it. That's all we're asking. Just fix that. Whatever it takes, just fix that.
Telling telling you, that's the only problem. Zarya, that's the only problem right there, boy. I don't know. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Oh, and by the way, gotta shout out my man Zach for letting us know what the national holiday is. National Chocolate Covered Cherry Day. I ain't gonna
Let's
lie,
go,
Zach.
Zach.
Had me worried. I didn't think you was gonna come up. You late today. Don't let it happen again. Nope.
We
Nah, I
appreciate you,
appreciate
Zach.
you as always, man. Doing your job and getting it done, man.
Well, look, fellas, I'm gonna go ahead and exit out. I'm gonna let y'all kill the rest of the show. I just had to butt my head in for a few minutes, talk just for a little bit. But next week, I should be back in normal stages.
Yeah.
We'll go from there. Y'all have a great show, fellas. Y'all keep rocking and rolling, baby. I love you guys.
Hey,
Appreciate you,
thank you,
Mr.
man.
Exclusive.
Love you
Take it
too,
easy.
man.
Love you too, man. Be safe,
Be safe out there in them streets.
especially in Philly.
Yep. Oh man. But we actually talked about a lot of the great things that happened with NXT. Now it is time, man. I've been waiting to talk about this. This has been good, man. I've been waiting. It is now time to talk about the best parts of the end of the week for Friday Night Smackdown. Birdman hands, okay? Look, this was an incredibly great episode that happened this week. I was incredibly proud with this, man. I could not be more than happy about how this week went. Look, this week was so good. This SmackDown was a good SmackDown. Now, if Mr. Exclusive was here for just a little bit longer, he would have told you there was one thing he could not stand that happened. But we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But man, they kicked this episode off, first of all, with the man. Okay. Talking about everything with, John Cena being gone. That he's the face of the company, that he's the locker room leader. He's the one everybody should be looking up to. But then that man, Randy Orton, comes out. Man, the pop was crazy. You know how the people are. They're singing my man's song. This is the legend killer we're talking about here, okay? Comes out, the Miz. I mean, getting hyped, saying, look, it's Randy Orton. Give it up for him. Goes, hyping up the crowd. Then says, why don't we do a Miz KO tag team? I said, man, come on, stop playing. We don't need any more tag teams from you, Miz. Let's stop. But to the point to where Randy, you know, didn't even say anything. I mean, and immediately, come on, you come back RKO. I mean, come on, what are we talking about here? To the point where the crowd chanted one more time, and they gave that man an RKO one more time. It was insane. Then we flash forward. Okay, backstage. Okay, Asuka, Kyrie, the Kabuki Warriors. Okay, first, they're just kind of talking about their strategy, what they're gonna do. But Lash, okay, and Nia Jax come up. All right, tell them, look, we're gonna help you this time, but just know that we have a title opportunity on the way. We got it coming. So just have that ready for us. Oscar said, whenever you're ready for your next beating, just let us know. We'll be ready. I said, man, come on. Stop playing with this. Then we flash forward to the tag team match, the 8 women tag team match, okay? We had the Kabuki Warriors and Lash and Nia Jax going up against Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Rhea and Io. And man, this was actually a really good 8 woman tag match to the point to where honestly, Io getting the pin over Kyrie. Poor Kyrie. She just gets the pin every time, man. I mean, this woman just really takes the beating every freaking match, man. But she kills it, man. Then we flash forward. Look at this. Look at this. Look at your boy from Pretty Deadly, man. This is interesting here, man. This was very interesting to see. Okay. Kit Wilson, okay, coming out talking about he's tired of all this toxic masculinity. I said, man, come on, Kit. But to the point to where at first it's a woo woo woo, but a woo woo no. Okay. My man Matt Cardona comes out and actually beats Kit Wilson. I thought this was crazy. I was actually shocked with this. Long Island's own, but I mean, still, come on now. Kit Wilson, he's new talent. Come on, man. Don't be doing that to the young talent now. Then we flash forward. Man, look, Sami Zayn coming back. Talking about he's ready to become a WWE Undisputed Champion. He's on the road to that. Look, man, that meant nothing because somebody came out right after that. Somebody that we know, man, come on, man. Hollywood Trick, 2 Brand Trick, First Class Trick, Trick and A. And y'all know what I got when my man came down and the crowd went crazy. We got a certain kind of chills. That's those damn rock chills, man. You see how Trick came out with the lemon pepper steppers on. Man, this was good, man. This was good. The crowd was chanting, whoop that Trick. I said, yeah, man, you got it, Trick. This was all him right here. Come on, you see my man with the mink, all white. Come on. This was good though, man. Told Sammy that Nick Aldis was looking for somebody tall, dark. I can't even say this with a straight face. Bro,
Cap.
I said, yo, Trick, come on, bro.
He's
Chill
killing it, though.
out,
He was
chill
killing it.
out.
Hey,
He said he
my man was
needs
hype.
somebody to get the job done.
Not
Somebody
bad.
ain't just gonna almost get it done or
Yeah,
almost be champion. I said,
yeah.
Trick, You are killing this,
Wow.
man.
Out.
And then the crowd still chanting, whoop that trick. I said, oh my God, man, this was great. Hey, Jay, look what y'all did. The magic y'all made in that crowd at the PC. Man, look, y'all did y'all thing with that, man. Shout out to y'all. Killing it over there in the
They move.
NXT crowd, man. Y'all making waves, man. Y'all making waves in this showing, man. It really is. But this was good, man. I love this for Trick. Trick was coming out, boy. Just looked like a superstar. I was proud of that man, boy. And Corey Graves even said, he said, man, I don't even want to take nothing from Booker. I don't even want to have the audacity to do that. He said, but Trick is that man. I said, come on, man. I said, let's talk about it. I said, yeah, yeah. But this was great. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Um, so you know, I didn't know where to begin. Uh, just because Sami Zayn, he came out and I thought, man, the WWE is actually putting together a pretty decent story here. Because I do remember Sami Zayn being in the crowd. And I was like, you know how Sami is in the crowd. He's literally comes up, shake John Cena's hand. You know, just not it's not necessarily odd. It's just he was not one somebody I would expect to be actually ringside at the, to be there when John Cena's shaking everybody's hand before his final match. But Sami Zayn is there. You think nothing of it. It's like, well, they did have their first match for the US Open Championship. That's kind of what introduced Sami to the main roster. So I mean, I guess I can understand and see it. But no. This was he was a plant. This was there to create the story of what he told in the ring to woo the fans to his side, which it went well. And I said, well, you know what? I got to give WWE credit here for the forethought to put this together. Because when he told the story, it was just too perfect. When he told the story of, my son was in the crowd and he asked, why do they call John Cena the never seen 17? And I said, well, son, it's because he won the title 17 times. And then my son looks at me and says, well, Baba, how many times have you won it? And I said, zero. And it was just too perfect of a story, especially for the push that we know he was supposed to be getting towards being a heavyweight or undisputed champion for WWE. But I was like, you know what? I still dig it because the WWE they laid the tracks for this, And so I'm going down this path. I've gone on and attached my coaster to this track, and I'm like, all right, I like this because it looks like the WWE has put some plans out here, and they're actually, putting together a decent little story. And all of a sudden, the music dropped, and like a high school girl in here, I went nuts. I'm like, it's Trick. And my man came out to the entrance and did this in the white mink. Like, I'm here. I was going nuts in this room. And, my wife was like, what's going on? I said, Trick is on. He's on Smackdown. And my man looking fine, the white mink, the white pants. And then when he got to the ring, and he got to the ropes and he picked up the all white lemon peppers and he knew what he was doing because he looked at the crowd as he was doing it and he did that little trick laugh with the white lemon pepper step. Yeah. I said, yo, Trick is on one. And then when he got in the ring and he cut the promo that he did with Sami, I said, oh my gosh, this dude has arrived. And what was even better, what was even more hype was the fact that the crowd was so into it. They were so into it. They had panned out and they caught fans like losing their mind, like grown men losing their mind, much like I was in here, going, whoop that Trick. The energy was there, and it was like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is a star. Now, you talk about the Vision coming out, right? That energy is not the same. But then you get Trick coming out, or an Obo. That energy, the building changes. It's electrifying. And then, like I said, the style. My wife said it best here. Poor Sami. because that's how I felt about Sammy after when that happened. I said, "Oh man, Sammy can't win." Just when I was just about to go on this coaster with Sammy, they did this to him, and I'm like, yeah, it's crazy what they're doing because Sam was like, I hadn't been on TV in a while. I know this, that, and the other, and I'm like, yeah, here you go. They're getting ready to start building his arc, and then they took this swerve, and I said, you know what? I'm loving this. Keep throwing these curveballs, WWE, because this is the type of stuff that keeps people invested. Because it's like, all right, now what's going to happen? Is Sami Zayn really gonna, go on this run for this title? I've wanted to see Sami win the title, but there's so many heavy hitters at this point that's in that picture. I don't know if Sami is enough at this point in time, to really be the person to say, yeah, well, let's make him undisputed champion at this point in time. But to see Trick come out and do and see the swerve that they did, with the whole Sami Zayn promo to going into Trick, and then Trick saying the stuff that he said about, hey, look, I don't make when I take these lemon pepper stickers off, I'm still 6'5", 250-pound grown man. I said, hey, it's good. It's good. But I also am like, all right, this is a good thing. He's coming in. He has beef with Sammy already. They can have a match. They're both going to be, it's going to be a great match. Sammy's great in the ring. It'll be a great introduction. It's kind of like what Cena did for Sammy. Now Sammy's doing this for, with Trick is good, but I know Trick has a match with your boy Ray Phoenix to start it off. But it's just planting that early bit of beef. Like, okay, you came in here, all braggadocious, and now I'm going to humble you, and you want to watch this story grow, and I'm loving it. But this was great. This was absolutely great because that means Nick Aldis actually used Trick's card 1-800
whoop that.
And he gave my man the bag, even after he had the lemon pepper steppers on the desk. My man got his bag. He told Nick Aldis, he said, look, Raw has offered me this already, but you if you want this, you need to come in high. And Nick Aldis made the deal. So like, I'm hyped for Trick. That was probably my favorite part. No, not probably. It was my favorite part of the night. Just the whole energy of it, the whole aura, the swag, and then the walk. One last thing.
Yeah.
When Trick came out and the crowd was going nuts and you could just feel the energy, the beginning walk, the swag to the ring was just over 9,000. And Trick, he killed it. What a way to make an entrance to the main roster. And I'm just hyped for what's to come.
Yeah, man. I mean, really, I love this episode, man. I think I've seen a lot of NXT people pop out, man. Like Jordan Grace popped up on Jade Cargill. I thought that was really good. I said, okay. All right.
Which is crazy though, because you talk about Jordan Grace, and I'm like, man, Jordan Grace going to the main roster. I said, I feel like they did her dirty in NXT. She never really got to carry the any title, for that matter in NXT, and she's going up to the main roster, which is fine. I mean, Jordan Grace is a talent. I just wish they would have gave her a better run. Like, she fought for the women's championship multiple times, and every time she got screwed out of it in some way, shape, or form. But I'm still happy for her too to see that she's going to the main roster as well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I thought like maybe at least a mid card, or she could have definitely got one at least in NXT, but maybe with her going to the main roster, I feel like maybe that's what they're doing, trying to elevate and really build more for that mid card women's title, which they definitely need for. And I'll be okay with seeing Jordan Grace go up against Julia.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And she's had history with Chelsea Green too, so I could also see that too. So they can play something with it. Yeah. Let's talk about this next part. Man, look, Carmelo Hayes, okay, beating Johnny Gargano, getting that first successful title defense. I said, man, come on, Melo. This is how we know you don't miss. I love this. Great match overall. Got the dub. I mean, the way how he hit that, when Carmelo hit his finisher, my God, that code breaker was crazy. Johnny Gargano sold that joint. Oh, man, great stuff. Then we flash forward. Look at this. Julia beating Chelsea Green, bro. I was very shocked about this. Mr. Xclusive was pissed. I mean, this really pissed him off, bro. I've never heard or seen him say the things that he said until that set him off, man. But this was I wasn't shocked, but I was like, man, I don't know, man. They gotta do something with Chelsea Green at this point now because I just feel like somebody like Chelsea Green to lose this. I don't know who's really the baby face and who's the heel because it's like Chelsea Green is supposed to be the heel, but people were cheering for Chelsea Green and they were booing Julia. So we got to do something with this. Flash forward. Look at this. This was really good. Drew McIntyre bringing up the picture with Dusty and Cody. Man, look, he took the picture frame, tossed it on the ground, stepped on it. Cody running to the back, trying to find out where's Drew. Where's Drew? Looking for him. Drew pops up. He said, "Nah, I'm here. I'm in the ring." Took the picture, set it on fire. Okay, Cody is pissed off. He's all up in his face. Drew's just playing in this man's face. I paused. I said, "Man, this was good stuff here. This was good here." Then we flash forward to the main event. Okay, main event. Aleister Black going up against Damian Priest in an ambulance match. Okay, you see what happens. Aleister Black telling Zelina Vega, "Open the damn ambulance door." Okay, Zelina goes to open the door. Mommy, that's it. Mommy's coming out. She starts to beat the hell out of Zelina Vega, evens the odds, and helps out Damian Priest. Damian getting the upper hand throughout the match. Okay, to the point to where, man, Damian Priest does a bit of a choke slam off the ambulance onto a whole table, and honestly, throwing Aleister Black into the ambulance, closing both doors, and this is the finish right here. Now, again, for this to be the first 3-hour episode of SmackDown, I thought they delivered. This is how you utilize your 3 hours. 3 hours of heat, 3 hours of fire, 3 hours of nonstop storytelling that just kept getting better. This was actually a really good SmackDown. I said, no, this was good. From the segments, again, I thought them bringing in some of the new stars, we done seen Jordan. I thought seeing, first of all, Jordan Grace popping up on Jay Cargill. That was great. I said, good. Now, okay, we seen what we were doing for the men's. Now we seen some of the women step up. All right. If you got Jordan Grace, we haven't seen Jada Parker, you better call her up too. I better see her pop up on Raw or SmackDown. Since we playing. I don't think we need to have Jada Parker as one of Jade's baddies. I don't think so. I mean, if that's the direction y'all want to go, fine, but we don't need that for Jade. I think Jada can do that on her own. Okay, look. But yeah, we talked about Trick. That was insane. Drew McIntyre, diabolical, sir. The picture, first of all, the picture frame. I don't know why Cody got upset anyway. Like, if that was from your actual bus, I get it. And I think a part of me was like, I think that is from his bus. Because you know how Drew is. Drew been infiltrating that bus for a good little minute. So he went in there. I mean, the fact you got the picture, and I thought for Cody was like, what pissed you off was him tossing the picture frame on the ground. I mean, great, we know the picture that was in it. I said, that's what set you off. Not him even having the picture alone, but him throwing the picture frame. That's what set you off, Cody. All right. I see it. I see it. But yeah, I thought it was good, man. And then burning the picture. Oh, God. Classic Drew stuff. Good heel. Good heel. I said, man, look, this is why we need to give Drew the title. Give it to him. Please. Please. Come on. Come on. I don't know how much more this man needs to prove to you. He's showing you how much great work he's doing. Look how personal he's making this feel. Look how good he's making this look. Effortless. Proud of you, Drew. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, you pretty much said it. I just think Drew has been, amazing in this feud right here. I just keep saying that the sad thing about the whole thing is that I just don't see the title changing hands, in this match. So it just takes a little bit away from what we're seeing in the rivalry that we're seeing, just because of the fact that I just don't see Drew winning his title and taking it from Cody before WrestleMania. So it's like all of this is for naught. It's fait accompli. is what they say. It's where we know that we already know the outcome. And so that's the sad part because Drew is so good, man. And I just really wish his work was rewarded in a way I feel like it should, which would be a championship. And having him carry and just do devilish things to all of his challengers because I love the fact that he's constantly doing things to just pick and just nag and just drive at Cody. Like, oh, Cody, while you out in the ring, I decided to come by. I wish you were here at your bus because this is where I thought I would catch you. For and it's like the camera pans and there's Cody's bus and this dude is out there at Cody's property. Now he's got the picture, and then Cody storms off, but he's not really at the bus. He's in the ring with the picture and he's lighting it on fire, putting it in the trash can. It's like this is great stuff. It's just great stuff. It kind of plays off of just like I say, stuff that you used to see back in the day. Just this outlandish, devilish stuff, especially like things that I think about between like Stone Cold and Vince McMahon, their whole feud, all that stuff. Stone Cold driving in the milk truck and spraying them down in the ring, just crazy stuff. Like I love little segments like this where you're taking like personal things and you're just you're outsmarting, you're outwitting, like all of it that's happening in this is great. And this would be great if this was leading into like a WrestleMania match. Like Drew was the number one contender. He was leading into WrestleMania. And now you're like, okay, well, there's an opportunity that the title really could change hands here. This is great stuff. But it is what it is. Shout out to Drew. He's still killing it for what he has to work with. And he's doing his thing. And the rivalry and the feud between them feels good. It feels real. Cody's, really selling it and doing his thing on it as well. And then lastly, the match between Damian Priest and Aleister Black, phenomenal, great match. Loved it. Loved the spots, being choke slammed off the top of the ambulance through the table. They really put on a good show. Loved Rhea Ripley being in the back of the ambulance and helping Damian Priest, the Terror Twins back together. It was great call. It was good stuff all the way through. Great way to end the show. And for the first time, not the first time, but I know this is the first show at 3 hours, but for the first time doing a 3-hour show, like it was entertaining all the way through. Cause I know back in the day when they used to do the 3-hour shows, it would drag. There would be these points that it would drag, but this was entertaining all the way through those 3 hours. And like I said, just the capstone of the night was definitely my man Trick Williams making his appearance on the SmackDown. That made this SmackDown memorable. It made it legendary. And yeah, it is. It was excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, this might have been the best part of the week for real. I think so, man. This might have been the best show of the week. I think, especially with Trick, how we seen with Jordan Grace, everything that was going on with Drew McIntyre. I think this was a great episode of SmackDown. And of course, my man Mello can't miss. And that was a banger match too, with him and
That
Johnny
was.
Gargano.
Yeah, that was.
So yeah, and it showed too. I said, "Come on, Mello, that's how
And
you do it."
it's amazing how right when Trick enters the picture, Mello becomes a champion.
I know, it's
Story that we
crazy.
can have. A story that we can have.
It could be tough. It could cook, boy. We gonna see. We gonna see because hopefully they'll do something good with it. And I think again, you can't miss with that one. You
So
really can't.
real
Yeah.
quick, bigger star power. Your personal opinion, Mello, Trick.
Oh, Trick. I love Mello to death, but it's like you think about when Mello first came out, it was like, oh shoot, yeah, Mello. When Trick came out, it was like, whoa, that like just
Yeah,
the energy behind it. And not to say, I think if Mello has something like that, which I don't think he needs, but I think that him having to whoop that Trick is what gives him that edge. That gives him
that is.
that extra aura for it. Like makes that entrance feel better. It feels better than anybody trying to yeet. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, yeah.
No. For real, like I was like, nah, man, yeah, I think his is like it's effortless and it looks
Yeah,
good too,
yeah. That Trick's music when it drive that beat is just sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's that the bass in that thing. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's the dum, dum, dum,
Yeah, doom, doom,
dum.
boom,
It's
boom.
like, yeah, man.
Man, hey, Trick, the way he came out, I can't. That dude came out there with the pink meat, with the,
He,
I mean, sorry, the
with the
all white
white
meat, with
meat,
the white.
he knew what he was doing with that too. I was like, yeah, see that's, and I was like, for that to be your debut,
Your
you
debut,
popped out with the right
right?
outfit too.
The all white, and then picked up the lemon pepper steppers and held them in the
And
air as
just,
he was entering and just held the leg
and when
like
he
a
said it
just
too,
a,
you heard
like
that
an
the
old school
crowd
pimp,
popped.
like an old
He
school
said,
pimp.
and he said, if I took off these lemon pepper
The
steppers,
pepper
they was like,
steppers,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
y'all chill. I said, hey, whatever, let's
Hey,
go. I'm for
how
it.
many people gonna start wearing lemon pepper steppers, man?
Man, he about to start that trend. I'm for it. I'm for it, bro. Trick, you killed it, man. We
Yeah,
knew
he
you
killed
could
it.
do it, man.
He
You
killed it.
doing it. You starting on 2026 just off right, man. I ain't gonna lie.
The guy that needed somebody that was tall, dark, and handsome.
He said,
So he
tall,
called
dark,
one
and
800
handsome.
whoop that. Hey,
I
Trick is
said,
awesome though.
Trick
He saw some
is
other thing. He is
crazy.
funny. He is
He
comical, man.
he really is, bro. I'm telling you, he be bringing back memories when he be saying certain stuff. I'm like,
Yep, yep.
that's
And
what
I
you're
just
doing. Bringing the
he's just
culture in there.
100% being himself. Like I wonder if they're writing his lines or are they just letting him just go out there and just say stuff like just off the
Off
cuff.
the cuff, yeah.
He's just 100% himself. Like it just feels authentic to him. Yeah, that's just what it is. And I guess that's why I vibe with it so much. It's just like it's not a manufactured thing. It's just him being him. It's
Yeah.
just crazy.
They struck gold, man. They got
Yeah, they
it.
did.
They
Yeah.
got him, Oba, and Javon, man. These are natural talents. I can't
And
wait to see where it
and
goes with
already,
that.
how do you walk in to a debut in a promotion and he ain't telling Ray things? Hold on, grown folks are talking. Like you just got here, bro.
Hey, I said, look at Trick already hitting that
Already.
line.
And he said, "What did you just say? Grown folks are talking." Ray Things was talking.
I'm telling you,
Hey,
bro. Like
Trick is
all the
on some
stuff
other
he's
stuff.
saying, yeah, all the stuff he's saying, it's gonna get over. Like
Yeah,
it's because
it is.
it's like it brings, but like I'm like every time he be saying something, it brings back memories of
Yeah,
something, and I'm like, that's what you want, man. He's
yeah.
doing it.
And it's saying
Proud of
he's
you,
saying
Trick.
stuff that like your parents have said to you before.
Yeah,
The grown folks are talking.
yeah,
It's just that you could tell it was said to him, and that's probably how he was raised.
yes,
And yeah, it's just yeah. He's a trip, man. It's just hilarious. It's just
yeah.
that it's the culture of it that's in it. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's really what it is. That's really what it is. Yes, Nicole, 100%. Yes,
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh man. But as always, please make sure y'all follow all of our social medias, man. I tell y'all this all the time. You already know what this is. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we on that. TikTok, on that as well. Hey, look, we're getting close to almost 600 followers on TikTok.
Let's
So again,
go.
y'all keep following it up, keep liking them up, keep reposting. I will be starting those the exclusive debates. I got a few more segments I'm coming up with. So look out for that soon. But hey, look, we're at 235 subscribers on YouTube. Let's get them up to 250, y'all. Let's keep doing it. I love to see the numbers go up. Appreciate the love and support from everybody. Hey, shout out to all my TikTok family out there: Godfather, Tasha, Tamika, Ladybug, Ovi Dub, Heals for Life, Chris, 13 Thoughts, Bro Kage, Polo. I mean, all of you guys, man, I am so thankful for just getting to know everybody, just meeting a whole community of content creators, and so that we're all doing this for a passion. We're all doing this for the love of it, for the love of the game, man, and then it's a great thing, man. But again, keep liking, keep giving, sharing that content because we're gonna keep giving you that content exclusive way. Come on, man, you already know what this is. Oh man. But as always, I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. And we have the one man and the only man that can check into the Heartbreak Hotel, and that's the Heartbreak Prince himself. We got an exclusive nights. We always ensure that we are the best there
Best
is,
there
the
is,
best
the
there
best there
was, and the
was, and
best
the
there ever
best there
will
ever
be.
will be.
And to ensure that your nights will
Will
never
never
be
be
the
the same.
same. Y'all be good. Stay blessed. Never stress.
And then Pepper Steppers.
I don't know what's going on. I
You
didn't.
can't get it to end.
Yes.